So Spurs have still not won a trophy. It's been 13 years. Well, we are talking about the immediate post-match reaction with Jeff Batija. I'm Rohan Manglani. We are also talking about the Champions League semi-final. Real Madrid taking on Chelsea and PSG taking on Man City. And then Jeff will definitely talk about the Europa League as well. What's up and welcome to Ground Reality, Jeff.
Nice
How's
to see
it
you again.
going? Nice to see you.
A lot's changed since I've last been here.
Well, I just messaged you and I asked you that, you're not coming. There's a chance that Spurs can win.
Yeah, it wasn't a very good chance, so I didn't bother coming.
No, but we were going with the luck, with with trying to change the jinx.
Yeah, I think it's 13 years. It's going to be 14 years. It may as well be 25 years the way it's looking currently.
No, but so what went wrong, Jeff?
Well, I think sacking your manager 6 days before a final, you could say, is probably not the best tactic. And things hadn't been going well before Sunday. So it was always going to be a long shot. You're playing the best team in Europe, arguably the best team in the world. And but I think what was most disappointing was the manner of the defeat. We hardly made a chance. I think we took 2 shots, one on target, and we couldn't get the ball off them. And that was the really disappointing thing. I wasn't expecting a win, but I was expecting more of a performance, especially, people talk about the bounce back, having a new manager, but we didn't seem to see any of that.
Yeah, well, it wasn't really a new manager. Ryan Mason he's not very experienced. He's come in. The point here is that, was it worth sacking Mourinho just before a cup final when history could have been made, some things could have been changed?
Well, I think in hindsight, given the way we lost, you could say no. But hindsight's a wonderful thing. We'll never know. We'll never know because that team was probably not capable of beating Man City. But if you want someone in your corner in a one-off game to win a final, Mourinho's your man, isn't he?
Yeah, but I didn't find Man City to be as good as they have been the whole season themselves. I think that they struggled a bit. I think Laporte and Ruben Diaz, both of them together were, what people thought that they would be. They were still exposed to Son and Kane quite a lot. It's just that you all didn't take your chances. And at the same time, obviously, there was a big decision of Laporte. A lot of people saying that he should have been off.
I don't buy that because I think, first of all, in the first half, we couldn't get the ball. So we never put them under any pressure. In the second half, we made a couple of chances, but we never really got the ball off them. So I thought they were very comfortable and the scoreline flattered us. And as for the Laporte sending off, I think if he gets booked on the first one, the second one doesn't happen. So it's not even a talking point for me.
All right, fair enough. And what do you think now? What happens there's a couple of things, right? When you go from here, you think about Harry Kane, you think about his future at Spurs because he had said about 3 years ago saying that if he wins trophies, he's going to stay at Spurs. Same thing with Son. There'll be a lot of good teams for both these players. What do you think happens? Would you mind? You obviously mind selling Harry Kane, but would you not mind selling Harry Kane for like a 200 million or 150 million?
I think the problem is no Spurs fan would begrudge Harry Kane leaving because he's an ambitious guy and he's not achieving those ambitions with Spurs. And in a way, it almost feels like we're holding him back because he has the potential to be the greatest striker in the world.
Yeah,
possibly.
I told you the last time that I think he's the greatest striker in Europe currently because he can play the number 9, he can play the number 10. And he has that leadership in him. It's just that the team is not taking him forward.
Yeah, so there's a chance that he's not fulfilling his potential at Spurs. So if he wanted to leave, like I said, I don't think Spurs fans would begrudge that. The problem is, who's he going to go to and who can afford him in this current climate? Because Spurs are going to want big money for the talisman and they're potentially selling the best striker in Europe, in the world.
Yeah.
But who can afford to pay that?
Well, the money is always generated. I've thought about that when Van Persie was leaving, when Sanchez left, when...
Money is
always generated.
But football's
as long as the will is there.
Football's in a very different climate there.
Absolutely. Now, there's no Super League also. There's no money, there's no money coming.
And had the Super League gone ahead, then you could argue that there are clubs with...
I think that they were doing it, Real Madrid and Barcelona, and we will be talking about them a little bit later, but they were actually doing this so that they could get somebody like a Harry Kane or a Haaland in.
They could get the big stars because there's no money. They're totally bankrupt, those clubs.
And they're pretty much finished. They need a revamp in their squads themselves.
Yeah.
However, focusing on Spurs. Now, what next for Spurs? 5 games left this season. Not exactly the toughest games, but you all stand 7th at this point of time. And no trophies.
I think
top 4.
I think to get the top 4 is a real long shot. It's good that we're still in with the chance, but I think Chelsea 5 points clear.
Yeah.
They have got a tough run of fixtures, Chelsea, but they look a strong side. They're not conceding goals apart from the West Brom game, which seemed a bit of a blip.
Yeah.
I watched their game against West Ham, and they looked in control against West Ham, who've been very good recently. So I think Chelsea will do. I think Leicester have got it sewn up. I think if we finish 6th, we'll be doing well, actually. If we finish in the top 6, yeah.
Are you on the narrative which the other Spurs fans are on, which is Daniel Levy out and you want a new owner?
No, I'm not on that narrative at all. I've been supporting Spurs for a long time, and I remember when we were in the doldrums on the verge of financial collapse. Levy's come in. We've got a brand new stadium, which you love the name of. We've got a new training ground. He's regenerated the Tottenham area. He's done a lot for that club. Absolutely. And people don't realise, they only see what happens on the pitch, which is, of course, the pitch is a huge measure of a club's success. But actually, Tottenham were in the mid-1990s. Tottenham were a mid-table club going nowhere.
I mean, okay, fair.
So we've elevated from that to a club with top 4 expectations, the best stadium in the world, a brilliant training ground. We were, up until the last couple of years, Champions League regulars. So, and that's all happened under Levy's stewardship.
All right, Jeff. Big Champions League nights coming up. Real Madrid versus Chelsea. How do you think it's placed at this point of time?
I don't know. It's a real tough one. And this is, the business end of the Champions League. This is when it gets exciting. And these are the games we really look forward to. I think it's a real tough one to call, because Chelsea are on a good run of form. They're not conceding many goals under Tuchel. Madrid didn't have a great result at the weekend. I don't know, man. Madrid know how to handle these.
But they have Vinicius, who's back, who's been playing. They also have Hazard, who's come back. So I think that
Hazard against his old club.
But I don't think he'll obviously start Hazard. I mean, I think he'll probably get him on, and if required. But I mean, it is a big game. If you just
I really don't know what's going to happen. But I think over 2 legs, Madrid will just shade it. I think the experience they've got at this level will get them through. I mean, they know a lot of those players have been in these big games before, and they know how to get over the line. And Chelsea, for all their vigour, are still a very young team with a new coach. So I think it will be very close, but Madrid will just shade it, and I'm going with experience over youth.
Yeah, but if you go to see that the Chelsea team also is pretty, experienced. They have Kovacic, they have Kante, they have Thiago Silva probably behind, Azpilicueta.
They have some experience, but not so much at Champions League semi-final level.
That is true.
And Madrid do have, they've got Kroos, they've got Modric, they've got these players who've been there, Benzema, who've been there for years at this level. So I'm not just talking about experience in general. I'm talking about experience at this kind of level. And Madrid have that in abundance.
Before we go into the combined 11 of both these clubs, but anything on the managers at this point of time? Because Tuchel seems like he's got it right, and sometimes he feels that there's something's lacking. But obviously he's done like 80% right at this point of time for Chelsea.
I think Tuchel has got it right, actually, because if you see, he's based it on defence. They have I think they've only conceded 10 goals in his 14 games in charge, and 5 of those were in one game. So I think he's got the defence right, and he's building from there. And he's giving a lot of those young players a chance. And the fact that he's got a German connection, you're seeing Werner start to perform now. They've got some strong players. But I think there's still, like I say, a bit inexperienced. So for me, Madrid will just shade it. All
right, cool. Let's talk about the combined 11 then. So who would you start in goal? Firstly, obviously Courtois. Can't start Mendy.
Actually, Chelsea don't know who their first choice goalkeeper is. So we're going with Courtois.
Let's go with Courtois.
Yeah.
And your right back?
I don't know. Chelsea are playing Aspi.
Reece James may play right back.
I'd go with Carvajal.
You go with Carvajal, so fair enough. Carvajal. Then what about the central defenders?
Is Ramos playing?
Ramos is not yet fully sure of playing, but there is Chelsea do have Thiago Silva, and Varane is back and fit. So
And Rudiger's playing well for Chelsea. I'd still pick. If I had the choice of 2, I'd pick Ramos and Varane. I think they're good centre-back pairing.
No, so the thing is that Ramos may not make it to this.
Fair enough. Then we'd probably put Silva in if Ramos doesn't play.
Okay, so Silva and Varane.
Yeah.
And your left back.
I would go with
Ben Chilwell or Ferland Mendy.
Mendy.
Ferland Mendy. Yeah. You think because of the pace?
Yeah, and he played well against Liverpool as well, I
But
thought.
I mean, Chilwell, don't you think that he has more of the experience? Because, I mean, although Mendy is brilliant, I think just a little more experience.
I think Chilwell is a bit... I don't know, I've seen him play not that well at times this season. Maybe that was more under Lampard, but he's been a bit inconsistent for me.
Yeah.
So I'll go with Mendy.
All right, and the midfield now. It is a packed midfield. There's
Well, I think Modric has got to be in there.
well, yeah.
Kroos has got to be in there.
He's injured, but if he's not,
Then I suppose you could put... I mean, Chelsea have got some good midfielders. They've got Kovacic, Jorginho,
Kante.
Kante. I'd put Kante in there personally. I think Kante's got to be in there. Kante's like two players, most people say. So Kante's got to be in there. Kante, Modric.
I'd play Casemiro for sure because I
What
think.
about Mount?
No, I mean that's the thing. But Casemiro, it would be my first pick in the midfield in a combined 11 because the work rate which he has and
I'd take Kante over Casemiro.
oh yeah, even
Yeah.
I think Casemiro distributes a bit better. What about the three up front?
Well, Benzema's got to be in there. He's in a rich vein of form.
Yeah, I mean there's no striker which pretty much Chelsea can rely on at this point of time.
Yeah. So I mean, Werner's.
Now I would rely on him on a Champions League semi-final against Real Madrid.
He played very well in the Champions League last year, if you remember.
Yeah, but
But this year he's been a bit inconsistent, and although he scored at the weekend, he missed a sitter as well.
yeah,
So I'd probably go with Benzema and who else could we put up?
I would probably go with Vinicius Junior on the left.
Yeah, he's played well for me.
I mean, otherwise you have options of Havertz, you have Pulisic.
I wouldn't put him. But Pulisic,
Yeah,
good player.
Havertz, Pulisic. There's
Oh.
Ziyech on the right for Chelsea.
Again, he's a good player, but not being consistent this season, in and out. So I'd probably go for Vinicius just because I think he's been more consistent than the others. And Benzema's banging in the goals in La Liga, so he's got to be up front. So
Guys, you all can see our combined 11 on your screen, but before now we move on to the next big semi-final, which is between Man City and PSG. What's your prediction on the first leg?
the first leg, I think, will be a tight affair, and I will go with a 2-1 Madrid win in the Bernabeu. First
Wow.
leg's in the Bernabeu.
Yes.
And then in the second leg, I think it will be a draw.
Okay, so
Madrid
you're saying
will win it by a goal overall.
well, I don't know. I'm going to predict the first leg. I think I'm going to go with a draw in the first leg. I think Chelsea's going to hold strong the first leg, and all depends on so much changes in football every week. You can't say much these days.
yeah.
Okay, talking about the next game now, PSG Man City. This is a massive game for both of them, Jeff. They
Huge.
both are dying to win the Champions League as much as you and me, but
We've got no chance.
but so we rather just support one of these clubs at least for this game.
Yeah.
So it's Pep and it's Poch.
Pep and Poch,
Yeah,
They've
so
been there before.
They've been there before.
2019. What
Yeah.
a day that was at the Etihad.
Well,
Anyway, let's not relive past glories.
So now, I mean, come on now. What's your take on this game?
I think City. This is their chance to reach a final, and I think they will beat PSG over 2 legs.
But they aren't scoring so many goals like we've seen City play better last year. I mean, obviously they're winning the Premier League this year. There's no doubt about that. But they haven't been able to do it in a very convincing way in the style they want to do it. Now, this may be the best way, the best version of themselves in this season.
Yeah.
But we know a better version of City.
Yeah, I mean, they have been rampant before, but then people have sort of said that they've been leaking goals at the back also.
Yeah.
And they've tightened that up recently. So, certainly if you take their last game against Spurs on Sunday, they didn't give the ball away. And I thought they were tight. I thought they were good defensively. So I think they'll beat PSG over 2 legs, but it could be on something like away goals or just the 1 goal in it. It'll be very, very tight. And I don't know if Mbappe's fit. I heard he got an injury at the weekend. I saw he got injured. I don't know whether he's going to be fit for the first leg. So obviously that's going to make a huge
That'll
difference.
be a huge difference because I think he's the second highest scorer in the Champions League after Haaland.
Yeah.
At this point of time. So that'll be a huge impact for sure. In fact, I'm going to probably go for a PSG win on this one because only because I saw the Spurs game against Man City over the weekend, and I felt that their defense still doesn't seem balanced. And when you go into a game like this, like I mentioned to you, Mbappe, he has the second maximum goals after Haaland. The third maximum in the Champions League this season still is Neymar. So it's. I mean, they have number 2 and number 3. So I expect If he plays, it's obviously going to become much more difficult for Man City. But I don't find them keeping their balance or keeping their calm when Mbappe, Neymar, Di Maria, all who have seemed in some amazing form.
Well, I mean, you say that, which is a fair point. But then if you look how quiet they kept Haaland over 2 legs in the quarterfinal, the guy didn't get a kick.
Yeah, but
everyone was going on about Haaland being the best thing since sliced bread. He couldn't get near.
Yeah, he couldn't. But that's also a bit. See, Haaland is good, but that's also a bit of inexperience, right? Because he's a young striker, 20, 21 years old. For your score prediction for the first leg, what's the combined 11?
Okay.
What do you think? If Mbappe's okay, let's start from the front this time.
Okay, Mbappe's got to be in.
Neymar's got to be in.
Neymar's got to be in.
Who else then?
Well,
Kevin De Bruyne. If you play him in the front, if you play a 4-3-3 and with KDB up front in the
then he's in.
So KDB, Mbappe, Neymar.
Yeah, what
that's
team?
A poor team.
Wow.
Okay, and then your 3 midfielders.
Are we going to go with Foden? Is Foden going to make the cut?
Foden's going to make the cut.
I thought he was amazing on Sunday.
Not only, I think he's going to make the cut in a lot of things ahead in life also. I think Foden is one of the biggest prospects of England at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's 21.
Yeah.
And he's won 7 major trophies already.
No, the guy's just phenomenal. I think that this season's Premier League win for Man City has to account to Gundogan, Foden, Ruben Diaz to an extent. And maybe a little bit of, the others. Mahrez has had a great season.
Yeah, Mahrez.
So Mahrez is also not a bad shout for
what about Gundogan in that midfield? Does he get in?
Yeah, I would play Gundogan because, he's just somebody who brings so much balance, basically. So Gundogan for sure.
What about Draxler? We haven't mentioned Draxler. Maybe up front or on the no?
No, I don't think he'll even start. I don't think
Really?
Draxler starts. Yeah.
He was a good player at one
probably, so you have, so we decided it's Mbappe. It's KDB. It's Neymar. That's your front three. Then you have Gundogan in one of the midfield spots.
Foden,
correct. And who's the third?
Verratti, De Maria.
Verratti. Yeah.
Yeah, we need a holder in there.
But you have Gundogan who can sit behind. Or would you play Rodri?
No, I wouldn't put Rodri in there. I'd put Di Maria or Verratti.
Or Fernandinho, you think he'll play? In a big game like this?
Yeah, I think he'll play. I definitely think he'll play, but I don't think he'll get in a combined 11.
Okay.
I'd put Verratti in there.
You put Verratti, okay.
Yeah.
And your back four now, that's, Marquinhos, I think, is the best defender in this.
Yeah, I mean...
In your centre backs.
Okay, Marquinhos. And I think I'd go with Walker at right back.
No, not Cancelo?
No, Walker's a fantastic right back. I mean, he showed...
Are you saying this because you're English?
No, I'm saying because I'm a Spurs fan. And if you see what we did, we traded Walker and we got Aurier. But anyway, that's a different story.
You're hurting.
Still, I can't get over it.
Okay, so back to the right back.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I put Walker in.
You put Walker in.
Yeah.
You have Marquinhos there. Who's your other centre back? Would you go with Laporte?
I don't know. He's been a bit. I mean, he scored the winner on Sunday, but it's a bit inconsistent. He can't get in the French team, Laporte.
Yeah, at the moment. I mean, after his injury, he's been struggling a bit.
Yeah. So I don't think I'd go with him. I would probably go with. There's a huge hype around this Kimpembe.
Kimpembe, yeah.
Yeah.
No, his name is Presnel Kimpembe, if I'm not mistaken.
And I think he's playing for France ahead of Laporte. So I'd probably put him in, just because.
But he's a little like Aurier, on the rash side of things. Not extremely calm, composed for a semi-final. I don't know.
I'd put him in.
Okay, cool. So we go with Kimpembe
exciting.
and the left back.
Could we do Cancelo at left back?
Yeah, you can play. That's actually a good option. All right, guys, you can see our combined 11 on your screen. But Jeff, now before we end this, what's the score prediction for the first leg?
First leg is in Paris, if I'm not mistaken, and I think that is going to be 2-2. We're going to go with a high-scoring draw.
Wow.
And I think City will win 2-1 back at the Etihad.
Wow, I'm going to go for 2-1 in the first leg, 2 PSG.
Oh.
And it's all up to City to do then. I mean, let's talk about the second leg a bit later.